So this is a tutorial for my Spatial Anchor plugin I wrote for students that they be able to use the meta building blocks, spatial anchor features alongside with my code so they be able to put the object where they want. Essentially, I'm just calling out the UID. I'm going to start from a brand new project to show how this plugin works. So first of all, just create a new project. You can use a blank project from Universal 3D. So this project, to be able to get it from GitHub, I'll put this link in the description as well. So feel free to use it, and also feel free to modify from the code. Once you have this brand new project, all you need to do is you need to go to Package Manager and get the Meta All-in-One SDK. And currently I'm using 78 version. You can use others as well. And also for Unity, I'm using Unity 6 LTS version 6.0. You need to restart the editor. So once you install the Meta All-in-One SDK, you also need to go to project settings and also install the XR plugin manager. So make sure you click Open XR and click Yes as necessary. So, and also just in case if you want to do a package to your device, so you need to click OpenXR on your Android setting as well. So within this project validations, you also need to fix all the bugs as well. So within the meta, you also need to validate and do all the checklists for the fixing. This process may take a little bit of time. So once you all done this validation and also the fixing meta self-check, you're pretty much ready to go. So before getting to the plugin, I'm going to start from a brand new thing. So let's call it Spatial Anchor. And once getting to the environment, you need to take out the main camera since we're doing XR project. So we're going to building blocks. Within building blocks, we actually need camera rig because we're doing MR project, so we need pass-through, and also we need controllers and real hand just in case. And also because we trying to do some interactions, we need interaction rigs. So we just get the grab interaction as well. So we have a cube. And then going to the spatial anchor, all we need is this spatial anchor controller. So that's pretty much set for this plugin ready to use. So what we can see from the project is we have a camera rig, and also we have pass-through, and also we have a cube that be able to interact. I'm going to move that up a little bit so we'll be able to see it. And then the spatial anchor actually has all the features we need required, and also there's buttons, means the button A, button 1 is actually the A buttons, button 2 is the B buttons, and this primary and thumbstick is actually the controller when you have the joystick, you press down. That will erase all the anchors. So press and the button A will spawn the anchor. So I'm going to show how that works. First of all, um, before we do that, let's check if there's any application we need to, anything we need to fix. So, okay, so everything's fixed. And now we're ready to run. So before you run, you need to get into the link mode to get into this white room. And once you're ready, you can actually click the play button. So in this room, you'll be able to see axis logo and you see from the screen, but also you'll be able to see this interactable cube. And so you can move around with your controller. And how to add spatial anchor, I can actually using A button here. So if you have a trouble that the button is not working in the thing, then the AB button doesn't work for the anchor, which means you need to go to this edit, project setting, player, active input handling, that changing to the both. So which means going to edit, project settings, and going to player, and then go down looking for active input handling, then changing that into both. Okay. So if it doesn't work, I'm changing that to both, and that should be able to work. Okay, once you everything's ready, you need to go to link mode and click the play button. You'll be able to grab and also move around with this cube. Also, you'll be able to use controllers, and you can move around the cube as well. And also with the buttons A, you can actually press and place the anchors on top of your object, and I'm going to place a couple of objects onto the spatial anchor onto my laptop, and just going to make another one here, maybe another one on here. Okay, so that's the spatial anchor how it works. So if you're going out of the thing and out of the play, you'll be able to click the button, and if you play the project again, you won't be able to see the spatial anchor straight away unless you press this B button. So once you press the B button, you will see all the spatial anchor you have placed has been successfully spawned in the thing. So essentially that's, and also if you want to delete all of them, is this button, the thumbstick, the joystick. If you press down, it will erase all the spatial anchors. So I'm going to temporarily place two spatial anchor here and here. So for teaching you how to use my plugin. So this is how the spatial anchor works, and let's go back to Unity. You're going to go to the page which I showed earlier, which is this one, and I'll put the link in the description. So all you need to do is you need to go down and download this plugin. Once you download this, it will be like a Unity pack. So you're going to asset, import package, and customer package. Going to download and find where you downloaded that package. It will show where exactly you're going to import this and where it's going to be import this code in. So it will put into the script code and just click import. So once this has been imported, it will be in the script file. So all you need to do is to have this spatial anchor loader, create a new object called spatial anchor manager. The name doesn't matter, but all you need to do is need to put that onto this empty object. Or in another way you can actually do is to putting onto this object. So once you have put on, so all you need to do is you need to right click, create a spatial anchored UUID database. So how this works is I'm going to show you later is to actually store all the UUID database onto your computer, because in the play mode you don't save anything. But with this database, you can actually store some UUIDs within this UI, so you can actually work on it. So once you have this plugin on, you will have 1, 2, 3, 4 list. So the number 3 list is during the thing is running, you will see how many anchors will be there in the system. And the last is they will save all the current UID into a list. so you can actually copy and paste to place any prefab you want. So before do that, I want to create another folder which is called prefab, so I can have some object to play with it. So prefab, and how to create a prefab is you're going to, for example, I take this cube as an example. You just need to drag and drop into the thing, so you can actually create a prefab. That color will turn into the light blue, so you will have one prefab. So just for purposes I'm going to show, so I'm going to create a little bit more prefab. Before that, I'm going to create a folder called material. And in the material, I'm going to create a couple of materials to make the different colors. So that'll be red, and I'm going to do another one. I'm going to change it to green, create another one, and call it say yellow. Okay, cool. So now we have a couple of projects. So the other way of creating the interactable object in a thing is to create a 3D meshes and so the object and right click, go into interaction SDK and choose grab interactions. And once in this folder, you'll be able to actually see fix all and to create. That will attach a code onto it, and then that will become interactable by you can actually grabbing with it. So now we have this sphere, which I accidentally created. So I want to make it I want to change another color of it, so maybe a green, and I'm going to create another prefab for this. Okay, so that's a green cube. That is too big. So I'm going to make the size 0.1 and a little bit smaller, about hand size. So now I want to override and apply or to change the prefab into the same size I want, and now I can get rid of it. The other thing I want to create is I can create a capsule. Same way, I'm going to make the size 0.1 and also choose another color. Let's choose the red one. And then same way, I'm just to put like interaction grabbing and done. So going to prefab folder. So I have a couple of interactable objects. So last, I want to create a cylinder. Same way, I'm going to put 0.1 and also going to material for this one. The material, I want to put it yellow and right click and go into interaction SDK and fix it all, and that's it. So for some reason showing into red here, but it doesn't matter. So okay, so now what I'm gonna do with this what I'm gonna do with this plugin is I'm gonna show how you use it. So first of all, you need to put the database into there. I think I've done that before. So I need to put this created database into the spatial anchor manager here and to save that into list. And next you need to put prefab. So how you put prefab is first of all, you'll have this anchor prefab option, which I'm going to put this default cube into this prefab, and I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. Yeah, gonna put this into the prefab. So that's first thing. So which means whenever the anchor is gonna be, it will generate this prefab cubes. Um, Follow down this prefab list because currently we haven't run this application, so we don't know which UID we are having. So this is like you can actually put pre UID here, and also you can put prefab onto this game object, so you can actually spawn accordingly. So in the options, load on start means they're gonna load the list, load everything, the script on the start to check whether there's any UID around in the system. And secondly, spawn at start, which means they will perform the spawn features, which means all the prefab location with the anchors according here, or the default prefab will be spawned. And this is really depends on how fast your computer. I find it's a little difficult. Sometimes the computer is a little bit slow. So if you are going to assume the object is not spawned, so you just make this delay a little bit more, like 2 or 3 seconds. And erase at start is about how you can erase this UUID from the system. So all you need to do, you need to just add another one and copy the UUID into it. So this erase at start features is when you run this program, it will erase whatever UUID written onto here. So there's a refresh function I written here using the R key temporarily at the moment. And also there's a spawn key for S. Here you can actually change it. So erase on refresh means when you press R key, whatever you written in this list, it will be erased. So it'll be much easier during the play mode, you can actually erase the UID you want. So onboard spawning is about like whether you want to change anything, the physics and also the script onto when you spawn in the object. So the default is on, so I think I just leave it on. And ensure grabbable component, it's optional. You can get it, you can use it or not, and also use for gravity and kinetic and kinematics is also optional as well. Spawn parent is therefore if you want to control all the spawn object, you can put empty object here or any sort of like a parent object here, so you can actually move or make it disable or make everything working at once. So the key enable key shortcut is actually using R and key, R and S. During the play mode, you need to definitely click this button here to make sure in the games, and then you press the R or S key to make it work. So R is, I said, is a refresh key, S is spawning key. The load, I think I mentioned this briefly earlier, is whatever in the system the UID will be, it will be showing here. It's not really editable, so no matter what you add to this, it doesn't matter. It won't impact on the system and where they save the UID are. And save the UID actually is the one to copy this into this list and save into this database. So you'll be able to copy any UID you want to work with. So that's essentially is how this script works. So in Unity, in the building blocks, I'm going to show you quickly. So in the building blocks, what happens is when they create the object, anchor, spatial anchor, they will actually have. So now you see two massive thing here because there's two spatial anchor over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, first of all, press B button to see where the anchor are. So for example, that's anchor A and anchor B. So if you go into the going to the inspector, you will be able to see this is the anchor A and there's the anchor B. So we'll see by order. So if I add more anchors, for example, add anchor here, you will see there's no change because it hasn't been refreshed. So first thing first, you want to go into the game and press the keyboard R to be able to see the third anchor here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, first of all, get this a little bit small. And then second is what I'm going to place three different objects onto these three anchors. Okay. So if you go out and you will see it. So first thing first, you need to go into this list. Basically, you need to copy and paste this and place this capsule at the first one. And I think I'm going to make this even smaller, 0.1. Okay, so that's the first thing I've done. And second is going to make the second anchor a different shape. So if you want to do this, you just need to go and copy this and put another object into it. And last one I'm going to do is copy from the list again and put in this. And I'm going to put the string sphere over here. So that's how you place different objects into a different space. So let's check it out in the system whether that works. So this is where the object will be spawning at. And if you want to put more anchors, you can. So by pressing another button here, 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 here. So what if I create too many anchors point? I want to delete one of them. So I might not I just do another one here in front of me. So all I need to do is I need to go to the plugin and which is the spatial anchor manager. If I press the button R, you will refresh the entire list. So for example, if I want to delete the last one I put, I can just simply copy this list and put that into the erase. And if I press R again and again, look at this number 7, there will be delete. So this specific anchor point has been deleted. Although in the environment, you won't be able to see this anchor has been deleted, but once you restart the play mode, you will be able to see it. So for example, if I want to delete the third one I last third one I put into it, and I just put into this delete list, and also this one I have been put into here. So you won't be able to save this list because it's in a game mode. So all you need to do is you need to go into Unity, go back to Unity, edit mode, and then copy this list, copy the third one, and also the one before that into the list here. And then this UID list will be deleted at the start if you have this option on. So if you try to click the button here and you play button, and you'll be able to see the 2 anchors should be deleted. So now we have the anchors we have already had. And so if I click the B button to show where the anchor is, so these are the anchors. So these 2 anchor points already been deleted because I put that in order, and these 2 are the default um, prefab already made. So this is about it. That's all I want to show about how to use this plugin. So it's giving you a way that you can actually see the UID and also get the location and position data, and you can actually modify whatever function you want to use for your project. So you can actually place this onto the real environment. And if you do have any questions, please send me a message or just leave a comment. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Okay. See ya.